Here are some things I no longer buy for my wardrobe. I recently read on a Substack newsletter, if you love everything, then you truly love nothing. And that really resonated with me because I was the girl who could walk into a nice store and fall in love with half the pieces. If I love the pieces, then surely they were my style. But this approach of building my style left me with a lot of pieces that I didn't end up wearing because they just didn't feel right. For some time now, I've been thinking about my wardrobe and my style in the opposite way. So focusing more on what I don't love, what I don't buy. If we think about it and we look at the style icons we admire, most of the time, they have a very small wardrobe. They repeat the same silhouettes, the same combinations, because they know what looks good on them. And by narrowing it down, we just end up looking our best and developing a style that almost feels like a signature and feels really authentic to us, regardless of trends. These are people who could have every designer bag, every designer dress in the world if they wanted to, but they don't. They have that restraint, that curation for their wardrobe. Today's video features an integration with Midori, so a lot of these pieces I'm wearing would be amazing gift ideas for Mother's Day. These are pieces that I have worn and loved for almost half a decade, so a lot of old favorites that have stayed in my wardrobe for years. Something I don't buy are different necklines. At one point, I was obsessed with variety. You know, I need to have something round neck, something V-neck, something turtleneck, something with like a scoop. I want options. Nowadays, I don't want options. I know which one I end up wearing, and I'm just going to continue to get that neckline. I like a round neck, I like a crew neck, I like round details around my face, and I like small necklines. This is not the advice I've heard all my life. Advice I've heard all my life is V-necks. But the truth is, I just don't have the body shape or the features to work with a V-neck. A lot of people look amazing in a V-neck. You might look amazing in a V-neck, but for me, no. I pulled this piece out of my laundry basket. This item has a larger round neckline, but because it has that cinchable, elasticated neckline, I can tighten it, I can make it quite fitted, and it still looks rounded, which is my preferred shape. So pieces like this end up working really well also. I can say the same about turtlenecks. So turtlenecks are not for me. I have owned them in the past, I never wore them. Variety is always about a balance. You want enough variety that you don't feel bored of your wardrobe, but you don't want so much variety that you end up having everything in your wardrobe and it no longer feels curated to your best fit, to your favorite things, but it's a mishmash of everything. This video is all about things you might want to consider. But just because I don't have V-necks doesn't mean you shouldn't. You might have only V-necks. Some people look amazing in turtlenecks. So if I were them, I would wear nothing but that in the autumn winter. When you look at my wardrobe, something you might notice is that I don't have a lot of beige or camel because I have decided these two colors look pretty bad on me. I don't eliminate every single shade within beige and camel, but for the most part, low contrast does not look good on me. So when it's too close to my skin tone, I look very washed out, little lifeless in those pieces. My beige is usually cream. Cream has enough contrast against my skin that I feel good in it. I wear a lot of navies and blacks because again, there's enough contrast between my skin tone and those colors to create that higher contrast look in an outfit. I do have this one beige piece in my wardrobe and I don't know what it is, but this color seems to just work okay. I don't have all the answers, but this one is more textured. It actually leans a little bit yellow or like straw colored. Very neutral. I don't have all the answers, but this is basically the exception to the rule. Something I no longer buy for my wardrobe is basically anything on a capsule wardrobe guide. Over the course of my style journey for the last 10 years or so, I have followed these guides a lot. And here's the thing, these guides are actually helpful. They are, but they're not intended for any single person. They're intended to be used loosely as a rough guide. But when we take it literally and go out and buy those things, we end up with something that just speaks to no one's style because it's so bare bones, simple, and meant to suit everyone. that it suits no one. My wardrobe consists of a lot of boring pieces, but they're not those pieces. They're pieces that are boring, but they suit my lifestyle. They suit like certain pairings that I wear all the time. They suit like a fun skirt I have, so I can wear that skirt more often. They're still tailored to me. I no longer buy basically anything on this recommended list. To clarify, sometimes, you know, white t-shirt, even with a piece as simple as this, it can be about finding a shape that you like. For me, it's like a closer baby tee. It can mean finding a fabric you prefer. For me, it's like pointel, and making these adjustments till they're you. For you, maybe you like just like a pocket. Maybe you like something boxier. Maybe you like something longer, shorter. I don't know. Maybe you like a workout fabric because it never wrinkles. There's no right or wrong answers here, just something that works specifically for you. Let me share with you my jewelry stack for the day, and a couple of these pieces I think are specifically incredible for Mother's Day. First up, the piece I've been wearing the most for the last month or so is this necklace. This features these really unique longer pearls on sterling silver. And the best part about this necklace is that I also think it looks quite good worn the other way. It's like a little lariat. I love how nice this looks both ways. Something I've been wearing for years and years are the Majuri pave hoops. So they've got the pave diamonds on the front, and then it's just on a gold hoop. So it's both extremely simple, but it's chunky enough and sparkly enough to really catch the light. Something I also really like about these earrings is that they have a very secure closure. It clicks closed, and I never worry about them coming off. For a Mother's Day gift idea or just for your own wrist stack, I want to show you these two bracelets. We've got the gold timepiece bracelet, which is 14K gold. I wore this bracelet every single day for a whole year, and I just never took it off because it never got in the way. If you already have some gold bracelets and you want to add a bit more texture, that's when I recommend the micro pearl bracelet. It will be the sweetest, most minimal look to wear it alone with a nice dress, very, very feminine. And then if you already have a few gold bracelets you wear, but you're looking to add a bit of texture, this is a great piece to consider. If you'd like to have a closer look at these pieces, either as a gift idea or as something for your stack, you'll find all the information there down below. Thank you so much for your support here, and we'll go back to the video. Something I no longer buy for my wardrobe are modern, sleek, minimalist clothing. So you can think Totem, you can think COS, you can think The Row. Not that I ever bought from The Row, but you know, these are brands we can think about. It's not about specific pieces because I'm sure there's something from these brands that will align to my style. It's more about the overall vibe that these brands give. I also want to, you know, dissect the style of Caroline Bessette Kennedy because I've seen her talked about a lot recently on TikTok, on Substack, everywhere. So firstly, the modern basics. The thing about them is that I see these pieces look amazing on so many people in my day-to-day. A chic woman in a blue button-down, some classic tailored trousers or a jean, and they can look so incredibly chic, so refined, so polished, so elegant. Is that what I am going to look like when I wear it? No. Doesn't suit my personality, doesn't suit my style, doesn't have the silhouette that brings out my frame, my best features. None of that really translates. So for me, it's learning. Don't mistaken someone's best pieces to be your best pieces. You need to go out and find that for yourself because you can achieve that incredible, amazing chic look, but maybe those are not exactly the pieces you need. That clarification has saved me from buying so many things just because they looked amazing on someone else. So Caroline Bessette Kennedy. I'm ashamed to say that up until a few years ago, I had no idea who she was. I've been seeing her style come up in analysis again and again and again. She doesn't wear jewelry. She is very minimal. The most simple clothing pieces. I would have 100% bought into this a few years ago and created this really simplistic capsule for my wardrobe. But you know what? A year later, I'm not gonna be wearing any of those pieces because those are not the kind of silhouettes that will make me shine. If you believe or follow the Kibbe body typing system, a lot of people think she's a flamboyant natural, which means she doesn't look good in ornateness, but she looks good in these structured, clean, bold lines. That kind of explains why she looks so good in her wardrobe. They are not ornate, they are simple, they have nice structured, clean lines. The accessories tend to be like one bold item, like a watch, a headband, but very clean. On me as a soft gamine and on you as whatever your body type is, we will need different pieces to get to that amazing, incredible style. So there's no point copying and pasting directly into our wardrobe. This is not meant to be discouraging. This is actually meant to be encouraging. If you like her style, you can recreate it no matter your body type, no matter your frame. You just can't wear the exact same pieces. You have to wear different pieces to get to that elegant, polished, refined style. For me, it would mean I need to have shorter pieces that break up the vertical line. For me, it would be a mix of structure and soft, smaller details, a little bit more ornateness than her to get to that kind of look. Something I no longer buy are fabrics that don't wash well. This is such an epic disaster and waste of money because I am someone who thinks pretty long about my purchases. I see it, I save it, I think about it, I add it to cart, I order it. Usually it takes forever to get to me here in Sydney. And then I think about how to wear it and then I wash it and it shrinks. So that is an epic waste of time, waste of money, and I am so careful with fabric choice now. I'm so against Reformation viscose dresses, they always shrink. It's a disaster. For the price point, it's an absolute disaster. Reformation as a brand, honestly, I don't think they wash super well. There are exceptions, like my score is fine, it's great. Certain things are fine. Overall, a lot of this stuff doesn't wash well. This kind of explains why most of my wardrobe is cotton. Cotton t-shirts, cotton blouses, cotton dresses, because this always goes into the machine, comes out perfectly fine. And then when it comes to knitwear, I love wool knitwear because you don't have to wash it that often. It's a quality of the fiber that it's antimicrobial. It also does not hold on to odor. You can air it out, you can steam it. You do not need to wash it very often at all. When I do hand wash it. I have a clothing care video, which I can link down below, but it's pretty simple. I just dry it flat and we're all good. Something that is very 50-50, where some people agree, some people disagree, is this one. I no longer buy my favorite pieces in different colors because oftentimes in the past, it has not worked out well for me. The second item I buy in the new color, I never wear as often as the original. I think buying an item in multiple colors works really well when it comes to something like workwear. You have a pair of pants in navy. You want to wear this pant like every day, so you buy it in gray and black as well. So then you rotate, that works well. Why? It's because you get more versatility with color, but then the essence and the function of the item does not change. The essence is still professional for work. The function still matches with all of your tops and it works. However, let's take a look at this navy cardigan. I also have this in black and I do love the black, but I've also had it in other colors, different neutrals, and they never work. So I had this in white. I did not get along with that because the function changed. It wasn't that easy cardigan I could grab and go. It was so fussy because the white with this flat texture just made it delicate. It showed any marks, stains. It became a very fussy piece. The functionality and the essence were very different. I've also had this in different colorways, but for certain colors, it just lost the essence of the item. It didn't feel as elegant or refined. It felt a bit more playful, quirky, which is not the reason I fell in love with this piece. We often think about versatility with other colors, but I would say think about the essence as well and whether that has changed the reason you love something. Usually when the essence changes, I never wear the new colorway as much as I did the original. Some of the things I'm talking about today are things that I have known for years now, but something that I'm coming to realize is that I don't really get along with shoes that are too prim and proper feeling. So this is something I'm observing and possibly it's something that I'm no longer going to buy. So let me explain this. I feel like I have been embracing the wrong shoe theory a lot lately. I've been observing this because I've been getting along with my sock and loafer combination a lot. Not for everyone, but I love it. I really like that chunkier loafer with my outfits. And I also like a more casual sandal, a casual Mary Jane, especially when I wear more put together outfits. So things that are a little bit more, I think, classic, elegant, I don't get along with as much. Nothing in my life is set in stone. You know, there are things that are on this list that I may one day take off. I don't know. Things change. I sometimes change my mind daily, but this one is on that in between right now. Possibly is going to be on my no-buy list. A shoe either has to be casual so that it can dress down some outfits, or it has to be chunky, little ugly, little weird to contrast that feminine undercurrent I have in basically all of my clothes. I want to discuss trends because it would be easy to say something I no longer buy are all trends. But that's just not true, because as long as we live in the world, as long as we're buying clothes in a shop or even in like a curated vintage store, as long as we bring any clothes into our wardrobe, there will be some trends. Because if we buy new, there will be little trends speckled into even classic clothing. If we buy vintage, the curation of what they put together and the availability of things, what is deemed sellable, is based on a curation that pays attention still to trends. So unless you make your clothes using not new patterns, because those are going to be affected by trends, using old patterns, unless all your clothes are handmade, it's hard to avoid any trends because they literally permeate every aspect. So the more realistic thing is not to say I never buy clothing that is trendy, but rather I don't buy trendy clothing in their extreme form. So when there is a trend, when we pull it back to the essence of what it is, it's usually a pretty classic item. A key trend at the moment is apparently plaid for spring. So plaid is normally, autumn, winter, now it's for spring. This is a trend that is so easily a classic as well. All it means is that you'll see it more in the shops. You'll have more options. While there will be runway versions where the plaids will be bigger, brighter, bolder, they'll make it more statement. When you pair it back to the essence of the item, it is a classic. And even if it's not a classic for spring, it's a classic for autumn, winter. Something else I've been seeing is like sequins, embellishment. These come and go, but if you're not opting for the most extreme, bold option, it can be very wearable in a wardrobe. If not a daytime wardrobe, you can wear it at night. So the essence of it is very wearable. The more important thing is not whether we're following trends or we're defying trends. The more important thing is to build your own do not buy list. To know yourself well enough that when the trend comes around, you can decide if it's something you should embrace or refuse. Knife pleat skirts are back again. And this is something I know from the last time it was in fashion, does not work for me. They never feel right. They always feel like an option I could have that doesn't quite look as good as my favorite silhouettes. I know the reason now. I know it's because I'm a soft gamine. I don't have that angularity to match with those sharp pleats. I know that, so that's a trend I'm going to avoid. The more we know ourselves, the more we analyze what works for us, what doesn't, the more we're gonna know whether trends are good, because they can really allow us access to things we know we don't normally see. Or whether the trend is something fleeting for us, it's a waste of money, waste of resources, and it's going to leave our wardrobe the next season. And again, the good part of a trend is that if you love plaid, this is the time to find a plaid in every color. So you don't need to buy it in every color, but you can decide which one is going to be the very best for you. And you might not usually be able to select from this many colors and this many types. The final thing to mention in the things I don't buy video are just things not on my wish list. I wish list like crazy these days. Everything's on a board, everything's on a wish list, everything's on a plan. I don't want my wardrobe to be an accumulation of things I bought on a bad day to cheer myself up. Like I was having a crappy day, so I bought a t-shirt. And I was feeling really happy one day, so I got a dress. Like I don't want it to be this random mix of things that accidentally fell into my wardrobe. Or a collection of things that were bad habits that became my style. Like that doesn't make sense to me. The wardrobe should be a very careful place where we create the style that our dream self and our best self wears. It can be built with a lot of intention, it can be built over time, it can be a mix of things we used to love, things we currently love, and then we can creatively combine these two, but I don't want it to be this place of impulses. Wish lists, mood board, I will say that in every video I make, that's about what not to buy. That's all I want to cover today on things I no longer buy for my wardrobe. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked any of the pieces I showed from Majuri, everything will be linked down below, whether that's for yourself or whether that's a gift idea for Mother's Day. I hope you have an incredible week. I will see you soon. Bye.